What's up, everybody, and welcome to this week's installment of the FTI Podcast. I am one of your hosts. My name's Kyle. We got Chris and Dan with us. And for the first time in FTI Podcast history, we have an interviewee that doesn't drive or own a 410 sprint car with us today. Driver of the 22G, Jesse Griffiths. How you doing today, Jesse?
Good, man. Good. How are you guys?
Great.
Doing pretty. Well, I'm here and I got a drink in my hand, so I can't say I'm doing that badly.
I'm barely hanging on. I've got sinus issues, so if I just randomly cut out, it's because I've muted myself because I'm coughing and choking on my own phlegm.
Yeah, it's been a roving thing with the three of us. We hardly ever see each other in person, but somehow we've all been sick this year already at varying intervals. Dan has definitely won the prize for most sick days. So I don't know if it's traveling through the camera or not, but it seems to be going around.
Yeah, I don't think it's really easy to get away from it this time of year, so I'm sure everyone's kind of dealing with it.
So, Jesse, I understand that you're going into your second year driving a dirt modified. So what kind of got you into racing? Has it been like a family long thing, or is it just something new?
No, I've just been a fan of motorsports since I was a kid, and bought a four-wheeler when I got old enough, and I got a little bit of motocross background, a little bit of TT background on a quad, and been going to the dirt track since I was a teenager, and got to that point in my life where, you know what, it's time to make my dreams come true, man. So here we go.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. What quick question, what's the name of your race team?
It's 22 G Spot Garage.
Love it.
Yeah, thank you guys.
Thank you for joining us today.
Yeah.
We had a last minute cancellation, so it's always nice to be able to fill these spots, because if not, it's just Chris and I talking about the past weekend's NASCAR race, and then Dan going like, I don't watch that crap.
I watch some of them, it's just but yeah, I guess so you said, Jesse, kind of grew up on motocross and TT stuff. Obviously you probably didn't, when you went into the dirt car stuff, never been on anything at that scale or power, and I kind of came from
no
go-karts, so I kind of know random crazy jumps. So how was that for you the first year, and dealing with kind of just being comfortable, really? It takes the first couple
it was a big bite, man. I'm not gonna lie, I was really nervous. I didn't have anybody to lean on other than the YouTube. I'm not gonna lie, I watched as much as I could about it. So I was really nervous about what to expect, because I didn't have nobody to follow. I just jumped in, and it worked out. It was a great time. My family and I had so much fun, and it was a win all the way around, man. We had a really good time. We just the whole plan for the year was to learn as much as we could learn, figure out the steps of the dance, and get out on the track and try not to piss anybody off.
Yeah, it's sometimes easier said than done when you're first learning. So
yeah. You get into it a lot sooner than you think. That's what happened to us. We got right in there rubbing with people real quick. It was awesome. I loved it. But it was a little sooner than I thought that we would be doing what we was doing. So it was a great time.
How many races did you get to do last year?
I think we did 13. I think
all
I'd have to
all
double
Wayne
check
County?
it, but I think it was 13. We did Hilltop and 4 races at Wayne County. We had 4 races at Wayne County. Yes.
Okay.
So,
Do you kind of plan on going back there this year, or do you have any sort of schedule, or kind of just thinking staying Wayne County Hilltop area? Or
Definitely going to do the Hilltop Wayne County area. We just landed a sponsor from the Pizza Hut here in Wayne County. So the 3 Pizza Huts, Rittman, Oroville, Worcester, all jumped in to back me. And so we're going to focus on the Wayne County big time this year. We're actually dragging Pizza Hut to the racetrack this year for to sell pizza. So
nice.
Hopefully there's,
yes.
That's what we're working on, man. Yeah. So there's going to be Pizza Hut pizza at the Wayne County Speedway. So that's what we're trying to do.
That's sweet. What about, so being like, for me, kind of relate to that. What have you had, any other drivers or buddies or anything kind of, help you out the first year that kind of became, a good person to kind of go to or kind of coach you a little bit? Or have you guys really just been a stickler of, kind of being separate? Or how's that?
We kept to ourselves. We did keep to ourselves, but man, we did reach out a little bit, and we have met some great people. I do have a friend of mine. He races sprint car. Matt Warner. I think he's got a 360 sprint or a 305. One of the two. And I asked him some questions about the racetrack, how things work. But we met Ryan Roby at the Hilltop, and that's who we got our car off of this year. So, we met some good people, man. And it's like I said, it's been a win all the way around.
That's good. What about you guys got some questions you could jump into? I was just saying,
what made you choose mods?
Man, to be honest with you, it was what I found in the weeds, man. It was the opportunity that I stumbled across, and it was sitting there, and that was it. I got a good deal on it. It was the opportunity that presented itself, and man, I jumped on it. So, actually that car, I got the car and it sat for a year before I moved it into the shop. And then I finally got the pieces to the puzzle to move it in the shop, and we throwed it together and jumped out on the racetrack with it last year. So, like I said, it was a lot, man. I just blindly ran to what I wanted.
That kind of seems to be the theme of the podcast. Kyle and I kind of got into this I started doing this. I wanted to get out of the house more, bought a season pass to Mid-Ohio, and from there, I knew Kyle's wife from work, and she introduced us, and now we can't get rid of each other. Now we got this full here, and we all circling things around to the start. We all hung out this weekend at Summit Indoor for motocross, and
nice.
I think that's why I'm feeling like garbage today.
Yeah, it was just a slight bit cold. At least you were smart enough to wear your thermal pants.
Yeah, everyone laughed at me.
No.
You said you got so last year obviously you kind of just got through it together. So this year you said you got the new car, and you get
Yes,
you said the motor's getting rebuilt too.
Yes, we have a motor at Medina Mountain Motors in Creston. They're helping me out down there big time. So
I live up here pretty close. I live up in Seville.
And yeah, that's as close as you're gonna get.
Man,
I went down and talked to Jody down there yesterday. I dropped off some pistons and some things he wanted, and hopefully the next time he calls me, we got pieces of the puzzle coming together. So here pretty quick, we should have a power plant. It's not a rocket ship, but it's definitely going to be enough power for the level of experience that we're dealing with, and
a little more pep and stuff than last year at least too. So that'll be
definitely stepping up from last year. So we're moving forward, man, and I can't ask for anything less than that.
Hey, I definitely know that Jody can build some great engines. My dad raced his engines when he was driving for somebody. At least in the asphalt world, he makes some damn good engines.
Yeah.
He did a bunch of engines and motors for, me and my buddies growing up too. I used to I've been there before when they were actually in Medina before they moved down to Creston. So it's been there. I know they've always been good and build, reliable stuff. So that's pretty cool, especially see a kind of a little more household name. I think Banana Mountain Motors has done some stuff at Wayne County too, put up some extra money and had some stuff. So it's pretty cool to see.
Yeah, because who else locally do people go to? Do they go to, was it just Malkit locally?
Yeah, I mean, I go to Gressman, and Gressman's only, an hour and 20 minutes west. So, depends what local is to you. In the same county as the track, they're all up in Attica, Fremont. But down here, that's probably about the, them and Malkit and Drum, maybe.
Yeah, I don't think American Thunder ever made dirt engines. I think they were mostly asphalt stuff and motorcycles.
What's been the hardest, besides working on the car and kind of learning the car? What's been the the toughest thing for you guys to deal with besides that? Is it anything from it? Is it the weekly stuff to get the car ready? Is it the actually getting to the track? The preparing during the week. I know when I first started, there was a bunch of stuff. Some nuances I wasn't totally aware of or prepared for, and what kind of was that, and how'd you kind of get around that to still keep a level head and have a good year?
I think preparing the car every week is the biggest thing. Between working, trying to put in the time afterwards and everything. I leaned a lot on my family. They've helped out a lot. I've dedicated my dad. He's the toy hauler, so he's responsible for dragging the trailer around. And my brothers, they're responsible. They help me do the measuring and the setting up and everything. So it's not a single man's project, that's for sure. But I think that's the hardest part, man, because we've had pretty good luck. Once we get to the racetrack, everything's worked out pretty good. We haven't had to struggle with equipment too much. I've had a couple of failures, but we jumped through those hurdles, man, and it made us. It was part of the experience, and it's been great, So definitely preparing the car, I think, is the hardest part.
Yeah, and it's hard to, kind of like you said too. It's hard to kind of get through the hoop the first time, but once you kind of get the flow of it and keep your head on your shoulders, it's sometimes the hardest thing to deal with, but it's the one thing you got to do the most. So it's always good to see people get through it.
Yep. Yeah, we built we blew up our engine at Wayne County the first time we went to Wayne County. I threw a rod, so that was a big moment that we got through. So I didn't know what we were going to do after that, but man, we pulled through. Ryan Roby again, the guy I got my car off of. He's the one that come through with my bottom end, and I salvaged the top end off of what we had and wrote another motor together. And we were back out there the next week, I think. So
yeah, it's nice when you can do
That's
that.
a good feeling.
Yeah, it was too, man. It was good. The whole time I'm sweating bullets, firing it up, running. The first time at the racetrack, I'm like, oh my goodness.
I work on cars.
Out, man. We ran it. We ran 6 races on that motor and finished the year, and it was great. So
I work from cars for a living, so I know that feeling all too well.
Yeah.
I saw a little bit too, stalking your Facebook. It's unfortunate. I've never met you in person. Have to do that this summer, but I saw you do some of the RC stuff during the winter. I know a bunch of kind of local guys do that, and my dad and I'm buddies with the Delaney brothers and stuff, so I know they kind of do that stuff, and I always see a bunch of local drivers doing that. So
yeah, we I know the owners for the R&J track in Worcester. I think the RC track down there in Worcester. They hooked us up at the RC track this year for the Toys for Tots, I think it was, or it might have been the Christmas one, but it was for donation, and we went down there, man. Had a great time.
That's cool. So I know a bunch of local drivers usually go and stuff, so it's cool, to see.
Yeah,
kind of see when I was poking around on there.
That's cool, man. Yeah, that's cool. Listen, I'm not too good with the social media. I'm gonna have to give all the credit to my beautiful wife. She's the master of the electronical stuff. So she does all that stuff.
Yeah, I was gonna see. I saw on there you guys had some, some Angry Duck stuff on there, and I've done some stuff with Kurt and some stuff with Joe. How's that been going? And how exciting is that to
Pretty good.
kind of do something like that? And
The banner behind me is that Angry Ducks product, man, and he had that done for us in no time. It turned out fantastic. We've got a bunch of merch. I think we're on his store. I can't tell you the details about that. Like I said, I have to get the wife on that, but I think
check
we're
the
part of the
Facebook
store.
page.
Yeah. So, and we like it. We like the people that we're meeting, and we like what's happening. So it's all good news.
Racing fans are the nicest people you'll ever meet, for the most part.
For the most part.
Yeah, usually the fans are better than all the drivers, though. So. And
Yeah, I've met a lot of nice people, man, this year, and a lot of new people. And we're actually going down this weekend to hang out with some friends from Wayne County. And, so it's good. I'm enjoying it.
So
Yeah,
I've actually I put
a good
in
time.
the comments for anybody watching this. In the comments is the link to his online store. So if you want to support Jesse, there's a link in the comments if you want to go and shop his store.
Yeah, awesome. Thank you.
What about you said friends and family, and for me, I had a bunch of my family kind of kicked in, and it kind of became a little family hobby almost too. How's that been with everyone? And obviously all the younger
Excellent.
kids. I don't know if you have kids or not, but all
Yep.
them. How's your kids doing with it? How pumped are they? How often do they want to sit in the car? And how's all that go?
Well, the kids are loving it, man. My kids they're not so little. They're kidults, I guess you could say. But I have my nephews. I have 10-year-old twin nephews, and they're all about it. So they're all excited. And man, the family thing it's the best part about it for me, I think. I tell everybody, I'm driving the car, I am, but I think that's only 10% of the experience. The rest of the 90% is everybody else and everybody pitching in and everybody working together and everybody coming together for the car. And, like I said, I'm excited that, my dad, I got him excited to pull the trailer. He's got a nice truck, so it gets him involved. My mom, she's always been behind us. And, so we've been big, wrestlers growing up. So my dad was a wrestling coach. So it's not new. It's good to see kind of spark back up, everybody getting involved and getting behind something, and it's a lot of fun. That's the best part.
That competitive nature is always fun to be around too. So.
Oh yeah. Yeah. Cause I got my brothers, man. I got my brothers on my back, dude. And they're like, I'm coming off the track and I'm feeling good. And they're like, no. They're like, you need to pick it up, bud. So yeah, it's good. They don't cut me no slack.
Good.
Oh,
That's
what
what they're
would
there for,
brothers be?
Yeah. What kind of, I know you said it was going to be basically your first full-time year. What, you said you want to kind of go to Wayne County and try to run the points, for the track championship this year. Besides that, what's kind of, some goals, that you have for the year? I know you said, not wanting stuff to break, it's always, a good thing, making stuff in the shop's good, but do you have any goals, trying to be, top 10 in points for the year, or, finishing every race, or what's kind of some goals you think about that you're looking forward to trying to knock off your list?
Man, personally, I think that if the cards fall right for me and I have a little bit of luck, I think maybe I might get a heat race win this year. That's personally what I might strive for, but it's going to take some luck. And I know that the fall of the cards and all that stuff, but I feel that if we put ourselves in the right position, that, I do feel that a heat race win would be something to really be a topper,
Yeah. That'd be a lot of help to whoever's pulling your pill too. That's always a good make or break.
Yep, absolutely. Yep, absolutely.
Yeah, I know. I don't know a whole ton about the full body cars. I do know obviously a little bit bigger, a little heavier. Some stuff can break a little easier on it. For me, I like working on cars, and kind of like you said, all the work throughout the week is big, and that's something I like to focus on is, no failures or something messed up due to, lack of something in
Lack
the
of
shop or
maintenance.
something during the week.
Right.
And that's, something I always try to look into. I didn't know if those bigger body cars, and you might still be trying to learn that too, how, they seem bigger, but they feel like there's still some fragile parts on them.
Yeah. I mean, nut bolt checks are important. That's one thing that we did learn last year with that older car. You definitely had to shake her down and check it out. But as far as as long as you don't run into the tire on the infield or the wall in the outfield, it kept going. So in this car that we have this year, man, I'm really excited about it. It's got all the right parts on it.
Yeah.
So I'm really excited
Is it
about
brand new
that.
frame or just new to
No,
you?
it's a 2013
Mhm.
Bob Pierce Scorpion. So and it's got the winner's quick change rear end under it. It's got nice suspension on it. So a whole lot better than what we had last year.
Yeah.
So I'm really excited.
Yeah, that's good. Yeah, it's nice to kind of have that feeling when you're getting ready to start the year, and you're kind of hopeful, but then you're hopeful, you kind of got your ducks in a row, and everything's kind of going for you. Is there anything you're kind of holding up on this year, or you got everything basically ready to go? You got I mean, you're waiting on a motor, but is the car
Yeah,
ready? Is it ready to drop in, or?
as of right now, the car is ready to rock and roll. The wife's working on the decals, so we're getting ready to start stickering it up. And we're waiting on the motor to get in. And once the motor and the training goes in, we're getting on the scale and we're going to scale it out and we're ready to go.
Cool.
So
Yeah, it's
Get-
always
We're
that time of
getting
year
close,
now. It's close
boys.
enough that it's nice,
yeah,
but it's too
yeah,
close to
oh
where
yeah,
it's not here yet.
yep. I think my wife's. I think she's more excited than I am, to tell you the truth. I'm
That's
lucky right
that's
there.
that's hard to
I've
come
gotten real
by
lucky.
usually.
And she's excited, man. So I'm excited, which makes me even more excited. So
Yeah.
Yeah, it's
That's cool.
always nice when your wife is invested in the racing as well. Yeah,
But
she's in it, man. She gets it. She's all in. So I can't ask for no more. She's all in. So
that's cool.
I'm just laughing at my dog, guys.
which one?
The co-host who doesn't say anything.
He tries.
But yeah, we're coming up on I guess it's only been 23 minutes. I was gonna say we're coming up on half an hour.
So before Chris asks his question, so besides just Wayne County and Hilltop, do you plan on going anywhere else? I know, Sharon sometimes has some bigger mod shows. Any other plans of going anywhere else in Ohio or outside of Ohio?
yeah, we definitely want to reach out a little bit this year. We want to put some laps on this car. So I want to go somewhere that I'm kind of familiar with. But I definitely want to reach out this year. We're thinking about maybe Atomic, going down a little south, maybe Muskegon. I think I said that right, Muskegon. Something like that. So we're definitely going to reach out a little bit this year and see what happens.
All right, so we have a comment here that we're supposed to ask about your dog.
My dog, my dogs. I got a pack of wolves over here, man. It drive me nuts. Yeah, I don't even know if I could bring him in here. It'd be a bull in the china shop.
Yeah, is this Mayhem that you're
Yeah,
talking
Mayhem.
about?
Yeah, Mayhem. I think it's, what is it over here? Right here. Yeah, that's one of my sponsors from last year. It's my DMD Shepherds. It's my parents. They have a really nice bloodline of German Shepherds that they got over there, and I ended up with a male from the second litter, and man, he's something else. I mean, he's well over 100 pounds, and well, he's mayhem, dude.
I can relate to yours is probably all muscle. Mine is mostly fat, I think.
Well, I don't know. There's some jackass
she's
in there,
a big
I think.
girl.
Yeah, we've got a show line shepherd out there who would probably cause mayhem if he was in here, just because he's big and clumsy.
Yeah. Well, you guys will see him. We'll have him posted up on the YouTube and stuff like that. So you'll definitely get to see him.
My second favorite thing about going to the racetrack, after seeing all the cars and watching the racing, is all the dogs that are at the track. I love going to all the merch trailers and seeing all the dogs there.
Yeah, there's a lot. Yeah, I'm not sure about, we have to dedicate somebody to the dog. If we take that's their job. They have to watch the dog. You know what I mean? That's what it's like. So I hate to obligate anybody to dragging the dog around to the racetrack, because I'm not paying attention to him.
No, you got to be paying attention to making those wins.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. Making laps, man. I'm going left.
But I got another quick question before, obviously we'll get into an outro and stuff. But how about as far as driving? I know the modifieds, their standard transmission. I know you put it in gear and you're not trying to pop the clutch while you're running. But for me, it took me forever to figure out how the hell to pull a tear off while I was racing.
Oh, that's
funny. What is it for you? Some people it's the belts and getting in and out of the car and being comfortable, or the steering wheel, or whatever it is. What's kind of been one of those struggle bus things you've had to kind of learn on your driving?
Right now, man, I had a tear off, whoop my ass, dude. I reach up to pull a tear off, and I hit the wall so quick I couldn't get my hand. I reach up to get that thing, and next thing you know, wham! I'm in the wall. It was I couldn't lie, I couldn't lie about it when I came off the track. I'm like, I reach up for the tear off, and man, it just went, and I couldn't get it. So yeah, it surprised me. I'm not gonna lie, it surprised me. Things happen real quick, But other than that, I've not had no, real oh shit moments. Have not been scared, nothing like that. I've gone in, I know this sounds funny, but you watch a lot of it on the TV, and if you have an idea of how cars operate and stuff, and I've ran enough cars around the field over my old man's house to, I know what they feel like,
Yeah.
So I get out there on the track, man, and I know I'm new, and I know there, there's a lot to learn, but I also know when it does what I want it to do. I feel it. I know it,
Yeah.
And I got a lot of that first year. That's one of the things that made me personally feel so good about it, is because I checked off those boxes personally, man, yeah. I got it to do this. I got it to do that. I felt that. I knew it, I'm in it. I feel it, and then I crash it and it's like, yeah. So
not many people are excited about
car is all I can say. I can't wait to get in a better car and see what that feels like. I'm super excited about it. Yeah.
Yeah. It's always a good feeling. You got some fresher stuff and it's good, and just got to kind of work it out and get the kinks out and get it figured out, and you'll be in a pretty good boat once you get through that. So it'll be sweet to kind of see how your year starts, and it'll be cool to kind of get back with you a couple weeks into the season and see how she's going.
Yeah, I would definitely jump back on here anytime, man, and talk with you guys. It's awesome. I got some people to lean on this year with this car. Like Ryan, the guy that I got the car off of, he's got a lot of knowledge. I've met some people, that are close, that have a lot of knowledge. So I'm not going into this year, blind,
So blind as you were last year. At least you got a flashlight in the dark tunnel this year.
Yeah, yep. little base level.
Yeah, we're ready. We're ready.
Well, I don't know. You guys got any other questions?
I don't. I was gonna say if you want to go ahead, shout out your sponsors.
Yeah, shout out sponsors, or your shout out the old lady special real quick too, and whatever else you need.
Man, the wife made a list. Yeah, I got Griffith's Construction, which is us. Thanks to her, dude. She's a big part of making all that happen. This year we got the Pizza Huts of Wayne County. That's a big deal for us. Rittman, Orville, and Worcester stores. We got the DMD Shepherds. The AKC for the German Shepherds. We got the Down and Dirty Cleaning Services. It's a friend of ours, friend of my wife's. Good people. County Line Cycles out of Worcester. Good people. Got the Angry Ducks with us this year. Hagen Well Service. The RPM Performance in Ashland. Matt. Listen, Matt has been a great guy to talk to. Great guy to get answers from. His dad is a great guy. I mean, they'll talk to you about whatever you want to talk about. Great people. So that's my go-to. I want to shout him out. Good people. And then Medina Mountain Motors, they got my power plant over there right now. So I'm hoping for good things out of that. So, man, and that's it. That's us.
Yeah, man, it's cool to see you got at least some people, and you got people in your corner supporting you. It's hard to usually going into it. I think that's one of a lot of things people worry about every year, and kind of getting that extra support. And a lot of times money's money. It's the people that are, money is time and time is money. The people putting the extra work in for you, or the people throwing you $100 for pit passes and stuff, that goes a really long way.
Yes,
so it's pretty cool to see that you're able to kind of get some of that, and not, like you said, not be so stranded on your loan trying to figure it out. So it's cool that you were able to kind of land some of that, and it'll just keep coming. So
that's one of the things. That's one of the things I'm wanting to kind of, that I think is an advantage in the whole YouTube thing for us and our family and the race team. We're as new could be. We don't have a background. We don't have anything that other than our crazy ideas and how's it go? Cannonball, here I come, man. You know what I mean? Other than that, so I think it's a great point of view. And plus two, we're a budget race team. We're everything that we do, man. We're scraping pennies and making things happen. And like I said, we're just fortunate enough to where things are happening for us and the family, man. And this is the direction that we're going to go. And hopefully we continue to move forward.
Awesome. That's what we like to hear. We like to hear guys grinding, hustling, getting out there and just having fun, doing what they love.
It's the passion, man. It's the passion. I've sat up here and eat this dirt in the stands long enough.
Yeah, I've seen plenty of teams with tons of money go out there and not do anything worth a damn, but it's the teams with the most heart and the most passion that go out there and kick ass and win. And you have to have heart, you got to have passion for it, and you got to love the sport to succeed.
Yeah, that's, I believe too, man. It's the heart of the racing, man. It's where it's at. It's the passion of it. It's the making it happen. It's the the people around you that see it too. That's another thing that makes me feel good personally, is that when you got your friends and your family coming up to you, afterwards going, "Oh, that was awesome, that was really good, and hell, we're racing for last place, and they're like, I could see it, we're moving forward. It's great."
Yeah, and you need that too,
Yep.
So guys, if you want to learn more about Jesse, hit the link on the screen. Well, actually, you can't click the link on the screen, but go to the URL on the screen and give his Facebook page a follow. And also, like we said earlier, his Angry Duck store is linked in the comments. So if you want to go out and support him by buying some merch, you can do that at the link in the comments, or follow him, or follow him on Facebook at the link on the screen now. Jesse, thank you for coming on and being our first non-sprint car interviewee. I hope we can get you on somewhere in the middle of the season and see kind of how things are going for you. And good luck. Season's approaching fast.
Thank you.
Yeah,
And I'm looking forward to it, man. I think it's great. So hopefully I got a bunch of good news.
Hopefully.
hopefully see you in a couple weeks. So
I hope so too.
Yeah, Wayne is coming up pretty
Yeah.
close, isn't it?
I think last weekend of the month is practice, and the 6th of April is, I think it's the 6th, the weekend of the 6th for Wayne County.
Good. I know for sure that all four of us will more than likely be there. So
All right. Well, then there you go, man. I'm looking forward. I'll be seeing you there.
it'll be nice to meet you in person.
Awesome. Yeah. Yep.
All right. So we'll leave you here, and thanks for coming on. And if anybody else would like to be a guest on the show, just hit us up on any of our Facebooks. You can contact either Chris, Dan, or I personally, or on Ohio Motorsports or from the Infield's Facebook pages. If you want to be on if you would like to be a guest on the podcast, sorry, just hit us up. We love having guests on because, again, if we don't have guests, it's just us talking about racing, and the metrics show you guys don't like that. So.
Yeah.
all right,
man.
thanks
Well,
again,
I
Jesse.
appreciate it. Thank you.
Thank you. Have a good evening. All right, everyone. So thanks again to Jesse for coming on. I know Dan will be leaving.
Yeah, I'll probably.
I'm
probably gonna get ready to go to let you guys get into your stuff. But yeah, it was cool talking to Jesse. I look forward to seeing how that keeps going for him. And like I said, it's always cool to see someone else getting into the sport. So I look forward to hearing how he's doing and how the year goes for him.
Yeah, it's always good when people, when fans finally decide to just go ahead and go for it, and I've been one of those people in the stands, and I've been one of those people on the track, and then I've been somebody back in the stands, and it's a lot more fun on the track than it is in the stands. And
yeah, for years I was going to build a compact to do Barberton, so yeah, I know that feeling. Oh,
I almost went down that route, and then I didn't.
And there's Dan gone. Thanks for
Dan's
hanging
gone.
out, Dan.
You didn't even say bye. Thanks, Dan.
Yeah, we're gonna probably make this a little short, sweet, and simple because I feel like death. Yeah, NASCAR race. Second closest finish ever. 3 wide at the line.
Yeah, I think it was let me see here. I think I have it.
3 1,000ths.
Yeah, that was absolutely insane, that finish. And even before that, 50 laps before that, they were 4 wide. Just going around.
That move by Cindric into turn 1 going 4 wide, just I did not like when they redid this track to this format there, and I was really concerned with the racing, prior to the repave and redesign. Atlanta was a tire wear track, so you had to watch your tires every pit cycle. You're doing tires and all that, and it seems like that with the repave they've done, you do still have to worry about tires, but not quite as much. But yeah, the racing on Sunday was insane. I felt like every time the first part of the race, I was fixing my roommate's car and had it, up on my phone, and I'm watching, and you're watching these guys slip and slide all over the track. And then once I got inside and got it up on the big TV, you're watching these guys barely hold on to this through these corners. Some would get caught up in the middle. Next thing you know, they're sliding right. They're tight. They're sliding right up.
Yeah, I mean, I saw it in truck qualifying on Friday. There, I can't remember who it was, but I think it's a guy that races trucks, but he's also he does a lot of dirt racing too. And he was all the way up in that dust and the marbles on the outside of that track, and it just looked loose all through those races. I know the truck race was had a lot less cautions than Daytona, but it was it seems like they have Murphy's Law over there in the truck series.
I was working that night, and I had that up on my phone, and we talked about this last week, and I'm going to say it again. We need to take the trucks back to smaller ovals. Do Daytona once a year to start the year off, but take them back to small ovals around the big tracks there, the Cup Series is racing at that week.
Yeah, I don't know why the trucks don't race at Toledo.
Yeah,
I mean, ARCA races at Toledo. Toledo's a half-mile track. It's it's a pretty good racing, so why not race Toledo?
Michigan week, they should do what they do in Indianapolis. ARCA probably won't race at Toledo twice a year because they do their championship there, but do the truck race at Toledo while the big guys race at Michigan.
Yeah,
if you want to,
it's really not that far at all.
Well, trucks usually doesn't race the weekend of Michigan, but yeah, do small tracks around those places. Trucks have always done dirt. Well, throw them at a dirt track around one of those places. High Limits was in
bring the trucks back to Eldora. I mean,
yeah, Golden Isles this weekend, so why not have the trucks race at Golden Isle while they're in the big series are in Michigan, or not Michigan, Atlanta. Man, these sinuses are killing me.
Golden Isle was in California.
No,
I think Georgia.
Yeah.
Oh, I thought it was in California.
But yeah, I really enjoyed. Well, I didn't get to watch the Xfinity race because we were at Summit Indoor. And then the Cup race. I mean, great race. I think it's saved kind of the naysaying of the new Atlanta for now. When we go back in the summertime, it's the first race of the playoffs. So we'll see there how that goes. A lot of the drivers, prior to this race were saying, I hope a tornado hits it and levels it to the ground. Because they were hating it, but the reviews seemed to be last week. Everyone had a lot of fun driving it. One of the stats I heard during the broadcast was Kyle Larson has been involved in a wreck at all 5 Atlanta races since the redesign. That man cannot do well in a drafting track if his life depended on it.
Well, yeah, he's a short track guy. He's a dirt guy. He does better at those short tracks with the the nitty gritty, trying to get in there and make moves. It suits his style better.
I think the quote of the week was from Todd Gilliland. It's like going to a haunted house. It's fun, but I'm scared for my life. Yeah, and he had a career race. Led the most laps, like 56 laps this week. You were a little worried for his job last year because you had Zane Smith in the front row pipeline, and the Zane Smith ends up over at Trackhouse in a development deal, and good way to show out this week that, hey, I deserve to be where I'm at. Yeah, it's just a drafting track, it all comes down to luck, but there's still a skill to doing that.
Yeah, I mean, talk about solidifying your place. Daniel Suarez, everybody in the media was thinking that he was pretty much on the chopping block this year, or close to it. I mean, they have 5 NASCAR drivers signed, 4 under contract with they got Daniel, they got Ross,
Zane, and SVG.
So last year his season wasn't the greatest, and so obviously they have some confidence in Zane Smith to bring him on, and SVG has multiple wins in supercars or championships in supercars rather, so he can definitely prove that he's a good driver, and has done pretty well this season in the races that he's been in, and then coming out last year, his debut in NASCAR, winning the only street race NASCAR has pretty much ever done, and Suarez just hasn't really performed as well as his teammates, but didn't he won in
he won a road course race. This was his first oval.
Yeah, didn't he win something at the Clash? He won the NASCAR, the Mexico.
Mexico, yeah, Mexico series.
So I mean, it's comparable, but not a cup race. But this is his second win of the season already, and we're 3 races in.
Yeah, I mean, it's all about momentum and confidence. You start building that confidence, and next thing you know, they say the first win is the hardest, and then they all start to come easy. And I mean, yeah, he's fought for the wins. He was up front most of the day. So watching that, I'm scrolling Twitter and seeing just a replay of that finish, and what a wild finish of them, just 3 abreast like that across the line. Everyone was comparing it to the scene from Cars all week.
Yeah, I mean, there were quite a few moments from Atlanta that were comparable to the Cars movie.
There was that spin Josh Berry went for, and you talk about car control. I don't know how many times that guy spun around and he kept it off of the wall. I mean, he went flying, spinning around and kept it off of the wall. So, yeah, I mean, like I said, every time you looked up, it was someone was sliding up the track. They're sliding around. I think if I wasn't feeling so crappy this weekend, I probably would have enjoyed the race a lot more than I did. But yeah, it was a great race. I am excited to see how the summer race goes, being the first race of the playoffs. Are they going to calm down a little bit? Is it going to be as wild? Because right now, second race of the year, you kind of have a little bit of wiggle room. But yeah, other like news from the weekend, you had Michael McDowell with his first pole in the Cup Series, almost 500 races, and gets his first pole. You had the who was it? Stuart Haas penalties, because goddamn Stuart Haas can't seem to behave themselves with this new car.
Well, somebody's got to get Kyle Busch under control with keeping his speed down. I don't know if he just gets too damn excited during the races, but every race he's getting a speed penalty for pit road. But somehow he's been able to overcome them.
Well,
and 2 races this season.
Speaking of overcoming things, you had Joey Logano get popped for his gloves in qualifying. I don't know if you saw the video.
His baseball mitt.
Yeah, his baseball mitt there. And he had to do a drive-through, go to the rear of the field, do a drive-through. And with that wreck on lap 2, it basically negated the drive-through penalty. Because, at Atlanta, they're going so fast that drive-through or a pit stop will put you a lap and a half down. But with that wreck, he somehow avoids basically avoids that penalty. I saw this week it ended up being like a $10,000 fine for him, but no points. You have the Gregson and Pierce teams. Priest. Oh my God, I did it again. With L1 penalties, losing 35 driver and owner points. So Noah Gregson's negative in the points right now. I can't get NASCAR's stupid website to show me the points standings.
Give me 2 seconds.
Maybe the stupid Apple.
Leading.
Yeah, Kyle Busch is leading in points.
Then Byron, then Cindric, and then Wallace.
I mean, Bubba's gotten 2 top 5s in the first 2 races, so he hung around the front all day. Sunday, even with a damaged car. So,
yeah, I mean, he's the only Toyota in.
Truex
him and Martin Truex are the only ones
10.
in the top 10, but he's the only one, that far up. The only one in the top 5. You have only 2 Fords too, so I mean it's pretty Chevy dominated so far in the standings. But what kind of track does Las Vegas normally run?
It's gonna be a mile and a half, so you're probably gonna look like, if I was picking this week, I'm probably going to pick a Toyota. So you had both 2311 cars really strong at a mile and a half last year. Martin Truex, Denny. I know one of the guys on Door Bumper Clear chose Ty Gibbs for the weekend.
Wow.
So
who the hell picks Ty Gibbs for anything?
I mean, when he was in Xfinity, you could pretty much pick him every week and it would be it was almost a sure thing. And when he was in ARCA, it was definitely. But yeah, I mean, good weekend. Now we kind of get into the nitty gritty of the season, going to the mile and a half tracks. Yeah, because this West Coast run, Las Vegas, Phoenix, Bristol isn't West Coast, but Coda. So yeah, now
that weird trip back to
the West Coast after being on the West Coast.
Yeah, it's I don't understand why we're gonna come back to Bristol, but I guess that's a good way to get these teams back to home base.
Yeah,
and then back out, and then they go to Coda and then to Virginia, and then in Virginia for 2 races, and then guess what? They go back to Texas.
Did you happen to write down our picks last week of who?
Yes. Currently we are tied in our points. You picked Bubba Wallace, and I picked Corey LaJoy, and you definitely won this one. So that leaves us with 1 point each. And so you have used Keselowski and Wallace, and I have used Logano and LaJoy. I don't know why. Every time I see his name, I just want to say Logano. Logano.
That's the Midwest in you.
Yeah, Logano. That was like this one time I was working at Summit Racing, and I was calling somebody's name out, and I said Hammond, and the guy was like, "It's Hammond."
Well, I mean, my last name is my last name is 4 letters, 3 different ones, and most people say Dare.
Really?
Yeah.
It has 2 R's at the end.
Yeah, most people say Dare or Deer.
Dare.
There's a special guest in the room today.
Well, that's every time I get people think the E is silent, so they think it's Henlin. Like, no, it's not. Sorry. Or if I'm saying it, because N and M sound very similar, it would be hemline, and I'm like, no, it's hen line. It's a hen on a line. It's so simple. It's 2 words put together.
This is great racing content.
This is why we do the interviews first.
Yeah. So you lost this week. You get to pick first.
All right. Let's do. Oh. I'm gonna pick. I'm gonna pick Buescher.
Tyler Reddick.
Yeah, you went with that strict Toyota roll.
Yeah, well,
and I made my pick and I completely forgot about it.
That and Fords are probably going to do pretty well too. He's off to a really rough start, so I think he's kind of got the pressure to turn it around this week.
Buescher's what? Stuart Haas?
No.
No.
Roush Fenway.
Oh, okay. RFK.
Keselowski.
Oh, we forgot to mention, everyone thought that Keselowski's convertible was so hot that even the Truck Series is trying it.
That picture of the crew member standing behind the truck, just
yeah, I saw somewhere. I think it was on Reddit, and somebody had put a quote bubble. I think we're gonna need a bigger roll of duct tape.
Yeah, but it was good. I liked the race. I hope they can keep the momentum with the new Atlanta, because I think a lot of people were a little upset with it becoming more of a super speedway style. I hope they don't reconfigure Texas the same way. Even though the racing is terrible at Texas, do something different. Don't make it the same as Atlanta. We don't need 8 drafting tracks or 8 drafting races a year. So
racing is really picking up this month. We have Formula One starting back this week.
Oh yeah.
Yippee. We're gonna, prediction, Max Verstappen's gonna win.
Yeah, at that point you just figure out who's gonna be second place.
It's either gonna be
Perez or
probably gonna be Perez or Alonso again.
I would say, is Alonso going to come out, big at the beginning of the year?
And then we only have, a little over 7 days until my favorite comes back. And that's IndyCar at St. Pete. And I hope it's as interesting as it was last year, because I mean, what a kickoff. I wonder how many pilots we're going to have this year in IndyCar taking flight on track. And then we have, a couple weeks off because IndyCar likes to be stupid.
Well, yeah, I mean, how many weeks ago did World of Outlaws start their season, and there's been nothing? So
yeah, I think they're on a short hiatus. I don't understand it. Like, just start your season and go. The fans want to see some damn racing, right?
Oh, I don't know. You got anything else?
Oh, sorry. Outlaws are back this weekend at Volusia again.
Okay.
Cool. So they're Volusia again, and then they're gonna continue on. So I guess they just had a couple weeks off because it was, I think, late models this past weekend at Volusia. Because if you're a series that owns a racetrack, you might as well get your money's worth out of it.
But yeah, you got anything else this week? Because I'm over here dying.
I think that's all. Coming up, IndyCar starting soon, and then we have NHRA starts next weekend as well. So I mean, everything's starting in Florida, by the way, besides High Limit and F1, of course, because we had Daytona. Technically, sorry, we had LA, but we had Daytona. We have Volusia. We have Gainesville Raceway for the Gator Nationals for NHRA, and then we have St. Pete. So I mean, Florida is just
it's got the best weather this time of year. So
yeah, I mean, besides like California, where High Limit was, it's the nicest place in the United States. Hawaii Grand Prix we're never gonna get.
Yeah, that's all I got before I just die.
Yeah, so we'll be back next week, same time, same place. Again, if you want to be a guest on the show, hit us up on any of our Facebooks. We are always looking for people to have on the show, even if you can only do, half an hour. If you can do the full hour, that's fine too. It always makes the show a little bit more interesting. But I see it's 7:00 and Felix is hungry and Newton's over there yapping.
My roommate's mom is we're dog sitting her min pin.
Oh, the min pin's back.
Yeah, Howard is back in the building, and he
All right, so we will see everybody back next week. We'll have our takes from Las Vegas and whatever else is coming up. I think there's no High Limit this week, so that's all. Have a good evening, everybody.
See ya.